Welcome to the Conscious Radio Network. Become enlightened, have fun, and tell all your friends and family to share with everyone they know. You can watch us on YouTube and Rumble while following us on Facebook, or find us on X, Instagram, and TikTok. Our podcasts can be found on Libsyn, iHeart, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and more. Most of all, remember to go to our official website at consciousradionetwork.com for past episodes, future shows, and scheduling. We also want to welcome our international audience. Don't stop now. Enjoy the community. Subscribe or follow today.
This is the Conscious Radio Network.
Good day, afternoon, or evening, wherever you might be on the spaceship we call Earth. Welcome to Conscious Radio Network's weekly podcast series, The Seance. I'm your host, Reverend Dr. Paul Meckes. If this is your first time tuning in, please click subscribe, like, share, comment, and also don't forget to listen wherever you listen to your podcasts. Today is going to be a pretty artful day, the art of self-awareness. That's what it's all about. A multidisciplinary artist, strategist, creative awareness educator, speaker, and author. He works on raising the awareness of our limitless human potential. Dyslexia and dysgraphia forced Michaell to develop an awareness to see the world contextually. Having a more human-centric perspective and art creation saved his life. Yeah, saved his life, feeling like a human being instead of an outcast. I know what you feel like. Same here. I felt that. He has written 6 books about the human, about the art and humanity, man-made systems and human inclusivity. Creating art taught him understanding and nuances of human-centric versus system-relevant living. Let's welcome to the seance for the first time, Michaell Magrutsche. Welcome, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I was thinking about when I saw you were a reverend. I was thinking about a reverend is a leader of humans, right? It's not a leader in system relevance, but he is that's why, and this is all coming in from our mastermind, really, literally. I'm not intuitive and not spiritual or anything.
Yeah.
Just because why are wars always destroying congregational places like churches and art first?
Oh, yeah.
It's always first.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if they have a chemical plant, atomic plant. No, always the churches, because the danger is
Culture.
when humans come together and work synergistically, they are unbeatable. We are power. So human centricity is our essence, but we gave it up for system relevance. Because we have to have a title, we have to have this, we have to be a CEO, we have to have the car, the wife, everything that's systemically decided that's what it needs to be.
Labels. It's like we have to have labels on everything. We don't. We don't have to have. Nothing has to be systematically filtered or it's crazy. It's like we have to have a label. It
takes it away. So when a little kid says, "Oh my God," and plays with a flower, and you say, "No, Charlie, this is a rose. This is a white rose." It takes completely away the experience that he had by smelling the rose and just playing with it,
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing. She's from here, she's from there. And now the wars, especially the wars today, I mean, now you are in the highest intellectual hotbeds like universities. They fight you because you were born a Jew, you're born a Ukrainian, you're born a Russian. You're not even, it's like, all Ukrainians are horrible, all Jews are horrible, all Palestinians are horrible. What is this? If you can, I understand politically, that's a choice. But if you're born a Jew or you're born a Palestinian and the leader does something, you see the leader does the screw up, then all of a sudden, all over the world, because we are all mixed, right? I'm from Austria and live in LA. So So we all mix. So if one leader does something wrong, oh, it's them guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's and that comes when you see, oh, this race. Oh, this race is dangerous. No, it's not. It can't be.
Yeah.
I worked on the whole world, and I have never felt, oh my God, they're different.
And look how history is repeating itself. In 1938, the Nazis were blocking the Jewish students from entering the Vienna University. Now, in 2024, we see the Palestinians blocking the Jewish students from entering Columbia University.
And you know what Netanyahu said? He said you can't trust the what they call it, no, you can't. There's a word there's a Jewish word for white people,
Yeah.
And he said you can't trust them, which is basically reversed of what Hitler does. Hitler says you can't trust the Jews. What is that word? And he said that, and because he said that, and I'm not blaming him or anything, but he's so afraid of losing his job or whatever, so he uses the same thing that actually Hitler uses reversed on the Jews. So where are we? And it's not, oh, he's bad. No, he's not bad. He's disturbed. So we have to start talking not in generalization, because, and then I would say, what they say. I'm so upset that I don't remember the.
Oh, I get that. I get that often.
But anyway, we will come.
Yeah.
And he said, you can't trust them. I mean, what is it? They're dependent on all of them, on all of us. Jews are dependent on all of us supporting them and whatever. So why would you not trust them if somebody supports you?
Yeah, and that's what segues into what the show's about, is how everything is dependent on everything. People don't realize how dependent we are on everybody.
Exactly.
Everybody. And for that very fact that you mentioned this as one of the main topics too, is that every human is a one of one creation of nature to synergistically fit within the system. Yeah. Can you explain that?
Yeah. And I think the word was goyim. You can trust the goyims, the non-Jews. Yeah. So same thing. Yeah. One of one synergistically is nature. And if you think, oh my God, I'm unworthy, I'm not worthy, I wish I was like Paul. Paul is so much better than me, or I'm better than Paul. It's like the constant judging of generalization, because system generalizes us. All men are pigs, right? And the women want the pigs. They want all the money from the pigs. Basically, that is the system relevant stuff. And then so we are one of one because nature made us one of one. Look, nature could have made what systems say about us, right? Man, woman, and a race and a sexuality. That's it. That's generalization. But it's not. Because even the transsexuals are different. Any transsexual, if you know some, I know a lot because I'm in the arts. They're all different. Every person is different. Have you seen even twins are different? So and you know this from your own family. It's not only scientifically proven, oh, we all have different eyes, ears, fingerprints, DNA. That's scientifically. Yeah. But also we have a life perspective, that is completely different, because your family or my family, they all should be same, and they're not. They look at life completely differently. And so the context, what I think what had happened was when we hit the internet and then COVID, so we were more dependent, we discovered all these niches. And I think it broke that. It was always there, but it broke because, do you know anybody that fit in? I mean, I've never seen anybody that says, I fit in. I always hear people say, I don't fit in. But you hear nobody saying, I'm the quarterback, I have the cheerleader, and I'm fitting in. It doesn't happen. It's a lie. Because I talk to cheerleaders and the quarterback. They said, no, I never fit in. It was always odd. I was the oddball. So what are we chasing? And we had to be generalized after the Second World War to build up, industry and everything. We had to. But now we grew. humans don't stay the same. We grew, and then we went. The internet was a blessing to give us. Yeah, the blessing of the internet was there's so many niches. You find blonde girls like dandelions and feed them to rabbits. That's a niche. You know what I mean? It's like the weirdest thing. You could just make up anything, and there is a niche. And it's still a generalization because you need a couple of them. You need at least two to make a niche.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we are all one-on-one. I said that opens us more the consciousness and taught us, oh, we are all one-on-one. Oh, wow. So I don't, in the old, before the internet, you had a really top company had 20 colored sweaters in two things with a V neck or a round neck. And now you can get everything. You can make your own Nike shoes. You can have your own cars made, customized and bespoke. Everything. So, and why does it even go? If everybody was the same, why would you even bespoke your car?
Yeah.
No reason. There's nobody asks you to do it. But the people tend to this because they experience their one-of-oneness and their uniqueness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the synergistic is to fit. We are not here to be in hierarchies. Oh, you have a title, you must be better than me. And but I have more money. So what are you gonna do? Like I'm a rich guy, and I'm not rich, but I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, systems always eat each other. They get to the top, and then they each eat each other.
Yeah. You can't stay You can't stay stagnant for a long period of time. You're going to go somewhere. You're going to go left, right, up, down.
Yeah, exactly.
And somewhere. Nothing is static in the universe.
Yeah.
But what do you think the function of life as a human being is?
Oh, this is from my experience. It's a one-on-one experience. So I never say, I know 3 steps, 5 steps. I hate that.
Yeah.
My perception of life is, because I was born a sick child and I went to school, couldn't do school. So I have no education. Zero. I'm totally self-taught. So what I think is your spirit is born into a physical body, right? And then the first 7 years, you learn what it is to be physical. That's the first 7 years. You learn to be physical. That's when you interact. The kid with 9 months, when they segregate from the mother, so mentally, 9 months they have to be here, and then they start spitting on the walls, throwing things to see where. Oh, that's what it is to be one here in the physical,
Yeah.
And then they go in this when they're 7 years old. They become so they're getting in this infrastructure of family in this tribe. They get used to the tribe, and the tribe could be totally defunct, and that's why they go into school in the next door school, or grow up, or and go more outside, having friends, interacting with, and they'll learn how bigger. And then when we all direct towards the school. So when they get out of school, they go, into the world, basically, and say, now you can be alone. Before you couldn't be alone. We had to condition you that you can actually be a human. But what we did, we system conditioned them. We made them system relevant. Yeah. Because there's never been a time where the parents more want that their kids be getting a job where they can support themselves. That has never been, because it's, we are the first generation after the growth where the kids don't have the chances that we had,
Yeah.
So everything is, which also amplifies the system relevance. You have to have not one in Europe. You have to have not one title. You have 2 titles or 3. I mean, it's just like you couldn't make it. You needed double. You have 2 Reverend Doctor. You could have another doctor in Europe if you want to.
Yeah,
system relevant.
Yeah, a double doctorate.
Yeah.
So talk on. I've heard so much chatter about this in the world, in communities and stuff like that, and we kind of see it. It's a little bit of a. It's revealed its evil little head as a conspiracy, but we keep saying that, overpopulation, the world's overpopulated. Do you think that we're really
No, no.
overpopulated?
If the nature says you're part of nature, right? We can never. Don't segregate yourself from nature because you're part of it. We fall in love with the CEO. Which we knew shouldn't because that's system relevant. We feel better to some coworkers than others, and we know they're not as smart as the others,
Yeah.
but they love that person. We act human centrically, but pretend in our game that we created, our metaverse, the systems, that we're supposed to be system relevant. And by the way, I want to just put the end on the life. So what I think life is for me is your spirit comes in. And if you, like in your age now, if you would have let what you are aware of, what you experience life of, if you let that into a child, you burn up. It's just too much because physically it's such a low frequency.
Yeah.
But it's also a feedback because you can experience it. You can bring a segregation. You can. That's why the one-of-oneness is so important because it's basically saying it gives you a sense of self.
Yeah.
And it gives you a sense of self, and you learn first what it is to be physical first. That's not the self yet. And then you more and more learn it over the age. And then mostly before you die, what happens is a lot of people wake up before they die, shortly before they die, because they say, even the richest people say, I wish I had bought this hotel and would have had all the hotel. No. They say I would have been with my dog and whatever. And then what was the other question? I want to go back. I want to just finish that because you asked me what life is. That's what life is. The experience here.
Yeah, the actual what the function of an actual human being of life.
Yeah.
But and then whether we're actually overpopulated or not, which I don't think.
No, because if there was since we are part of nature and it's connected, everything is connected, like you say. If there was an overpopulation, the Earth can make very quick things to get rid of that.
No,
all about balance. So do another Spanish flu or something or anything. Anything, hurricane, whatever. It just wipes us out, or it gives us a mutation in our DNA that all of a sudden we don't procreate. And by the way, all the Western thing procreate less and less. That's why they all need. They don't like migration, but they need all the people do the dirty work.
Yeah, I heard there was a study that showed that the newer generation has, I guess they did a poll or something like that, that they decided some of them said, oh yeah, we don't, they don't intend on having children in their lifetime.
And that's you can say, okay, that's systemically, but if you wouldn't know if that's nature, that's just that just drives us to do certain things. I mean, why do you want to have procreate between like 15 or 16 till 28? The DNA drive of procreation stops at 28. And then there would be a choice. So when women don't know if they want kids, I said, wait till 28, because then it becomes a choice. Yeah. Now you are, especially the younger you are, and when you get into the procreation, the more you think you fall in love. I mean, when you young girls, they say, I want to marry him. And you see that guy doesn't even know who he is. You're 10 times smarter than him. But they think, I need to marry. And they don't, and this is what we don't teach kids. We said, you are driven to have babies. And make sure that you're conscious, especially in a system relevant world, that you're conscious that you can pay for it, that you can afford it, that you don't want to be a space scientist and have kids. So make sure you really want your life is dedicated, that you want to have kids, and not that you do everything. You have jobs and kids, because something is shortcuts. I'm not saying you can have a job at home, but don't go drive an hour to work, have the kids, somebody else raise the kids. Why are you having kids?
Yeah. Not only that, it's look at we as we started off the show with today's global and global politics going on and disorder happening. It's like, why would anybody even want to bring kids and raise a family in this type of an
Yeah.
environment?
Yeah. And
It's
Gen
just,
Z says that they don't want them. The Gen
yeah,
Z says they don't want them. They don't even want to have sex. They want to have, they want to play games. They say, I'm totally fulfilled when I play games, when I get out of the physicalness, which is, it defeats the purpose of being a human.
yeah,
The other people say, I'm only spiritual, or I'm only religious. No, when you're here, you be fully physical. And because if you want to experience your one of oneness, you got to lean into your humanness and
yeah,
not saying, I'm not an animal. You are an animal, no matter what you say. You're an advanced animal, but you are part of nature.
yeah,
And our animal, we are collective creative species, because wherever you look, Singapore, New York, Paris, Apple, Google, we always collaboratively create. And I
hmm,
always say Steve Jobs, I said it all the time. I said, Steve Jobs didn't create Apple. He found the right people to help it. If Steve Jobs wouldn't find his people, or he couldn't attract them, he would still sit like Bill Gates. They would still sit in the garages and solder.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
say the same thing about Elon Musk. I was like, Elon
100%.
Musk is not only a brilliant, yeah, he's only
Yeah,
brilliant by helping,
yeah.
build these companies, but finding the right people and
People.
managing the right people to do
Yeah,
these
yeah.
tasks.
And then it becomes ego, because then you think you are doing it. No, no,
Yeah.
no, no, no. It depends on the people that you surround you with. And you know, in the old times, we were so system relevant that when one person had the courage to escape after the system relevant, people followed him, like
Mhm.
Hitler. Like they followed him
Yeah.
because they felt, oh my God, this guy can do it, then perhaps I can be free. That's why everybody wants this today, wants to be a leader. Why do you want to be a leader? Why not a great team member? I always ask that question, because you believe the lie, the system relevant lie, that once you're a leader, you can be free and can be the one of one that you are, and can
Yeah.
do what you want to do. And actually, that's the biggest lie ever, because when you're a leader, you and I are 10 times more free if you say, okay, Paul, can you represent Elon Musk? He wants to go to Mars and you run his company. You think you have the freedom that you have now? No way. Everything from you, whatever you breathe, whatever you do, is gonna be charged and surrounded. So you can't do that. So you have to be more and more system relevant, which outdates you. That's why we have leaders that are very long in the same position. They're more and more disconnected from reality and
Mhm.
from driving the bus or going grocery shopping or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think is the biggest misunderstandings about humanity?
I think the biggest misunderstanding is this simple segregation. I have no education, so I have to literally make human sense to even survive.
Mhm.
So I said, to know we are part of nature. That I think we forgot, because we're getting the, what's it called, the shiny object syndrome. We are a victim of shiny object. We are so
Ah,
surprised what we create that we say, screw everything. We created this, Google, whatever. We are we are part of that group, or part of, that we say a human can never be as good.
mm,
Uh, what we create, and which is the lie, that we actually better because the system didn't create us. We created the systems. And that's always forgotten. And I say, even that, I'm sorry about that. They're just going by there with the mower.
no worries.
So, so the, so imagine if the systems all go collapse tomorrow. It would be horrible, because I'm very pro system. I'm not against systems.
Yeah.
I'm awareness about them. So, because they need to be updated. So, if all the systems die tomorrow, you don't think that's the death of humanity, right? A lot of
Mm-mm.
people might die, but we just create new ones, right?
Yeah.
We know we can do it. We did it one time. Why wouldn't you do it the second time? If all the humans die tomorrow, systems are irrelevant. They're not even, nobody needs them. Who cares? You
True.
know, you saw the thing in Chernobyl, the atomic reactor. I
Yeah.
mean, that was the worst thing. Nature adapted. The animals became a little bit bigger, and it's all grown over. Look at the when you see that, it was like, oh my God! It's like nature just takes over. You know, dinosaurs. Dinosaurs were roaming the world. They didn't fit in, or the asteroid hit, or whatever happened. Boom.
Yeah.
The nature goes on, and we're part of that. It's just very empowering. It's not disempowering. We are part of nature, and if we lean into being a human first, and also knowing we're part of nature, that's where we can discover our biggest humanity. You know, we can the biggest power, and actually we can experience. What we can do is we experience the human potential. I mean, you and I dancing here. It's not about right or wrong. It's
Mm.
open perspectives.
Yeah.
Your perspective, my perspective, and we can experience. That's why podcasts are so powerful, because we can experience our potential.
Hmm.
You know, it's like there's this expert, but then it's nothing. I'm not an expert. You know, no. It's a dance where both open the perspective, human centrically, and actually can experience what we are capable of. And I work on with a university on talking on education about communication,
Yeah.
because I'm an expert, because I'm stuttering and neurodiverse and everything, and have no education.
Yeah.
But what we found, that when four people dance like you and I, when 4 or 5 people dance, and we were talking in this example, is my friend Mark. We were talking about equality. So 5 people talked about equality, and we all realized that it wasn't, oh, he's right or I'm wrong. No, it was like, wow, oh, I didn't think about equality about that. And it
Mm.
was totally, we saw the human potential rise in foursome, and also reconfirming our importance as one of one. The
Yeah.
synergistic fit worked.
yeah.
And that's how we're naturally supposed to be.
Yeah.
A collaboration.
Yeah. A collaboration. How does last but not least, how does art and creativity bring us closer to our humanity?
Mm-hmm. So, art, first of all, I need to really clarify this. Art, what does art want? Art only wants to be created and exposed.
Hmm.
So if you think, oh, I want to paint a picture, you know, and I put red on it, and I feel really red, I feel red, and then you look at it and say, no, it's not that light. So you have a conversation with your non-physical, right?
Hmm.
So you say, no, I don't want to have it that red. I want to do, and you paint it to a perfect red, right? And then you say, what do I feel? Oh, I feel green. I want to do red and green, and I want the green in. So it's not that green, it's the other green. So when you
Yeah.
create something, an artwork, then the artwork, the work of art, is the symptom of your conversation with your non-physical.
Yeah. The higher self.
Very powerful, very powerful. But nobody gives anything about the creation. Everybody looks at the product. So we're looking in the wrong direction. That's why artists feel so good. They feel magical. So they can't really leave art and become a post office guy. They feel the magic, but then system relevantly, this is what made me find about the system relevance and human centricity.
Hmm.
System relevantly, they can only be an artist when I see, okay, Paul, you made a great music and everybody likes it. You're a musician. If you studied music or not, you're a musician, right? So, but if nobody likes your music, oh, a hobby, bullshit. You know, you don't do
Yeah.
anything. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so it's dependent on other people, and art is not dependent, because art's only function is to create it. Like you had the intuition to make a podcast. It didn't say you have to be the highest form podcast, even if you want that, but it's not saying that. So your creativity allows you to create a podcast in your way and tweak it and make it more yours. Make not more what fits, but more what yours. You can make it more what fits, but then you become average, and
Yeah.
then nobody will listen to you. So you have to make you an expression of you and have dance. People come with dancing with you and then leave.
Yeah.
And once you do it, you also have to. So an artist is not somebody that just creates by itself and never shows it. It has to be exposed, even to your grandmother, to your kid, because you want to see what I just created exposed in the physical to another human being.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be millions or whatever. So that's the art thing. And so and that's a great tool, because by the reaction of other, you become conscious, says, my grandmother doesn't like the painting. I'm a shitty painter. But that also leads you to the realization, can somebody else just tell me that I'm not good and accept that? So in that whole process is a tremendous amount of learning in it. So when I was an artist, so this comes from my experience, so I couldn't do anything. So art actually made me not kill myself and not just go on drugs or anything, because art gave me the feedback, which it does to everybody. If you don't look at the product, it gives you the feedback of what you did. Mm-hmm. So of you, because you did that. It's like writing in a diary, and 10 years later you read the diary and say, oh, I was dumb and naive at that time still. And it gives you value. It gives you your own one-of-oneness that we all search for. We search for the relevance. And when you look for the relevance of what you have given by nature, you don't have to look at the system relevance, because if you're president of the United States, tomorrow you're not, right? Tomorrow you're not. And what is it? What does it say about your oneness? I was once 4 years a president. You want to live your whole ego? You are one human. So what makes you different from another president? So we're all artists. And also he has the answers. Art, because it has no context. When I make shoes, that is a context. Create shoes, create creative shoes, whatever, art shoes, is a context. But art doesn't say what to do. You can do a canvas, you can sing, you can do anything and say that's art. So because of that, it amplifies your one-of-oneness. It helps you with your one-of-oneness. And that's why it's so magical, because if it would say, you got to do this, then it would generalize us. It doesn't. So there's so much wisdom in the art creation. That's why I'm focusing on, and Rick Rubin focused on that too. We focus on the art creation and say a way of being. Rick Rubin says a way of being. Absolutely. It's a way of being. The art that we have, you become another person because you started creating a podcast. Mm-hmm. And you find more of who you are, unless you're hated and self-destruct. But so we do that, and our art is. And when I wrote the article I wrote a long article on LinkedIn. I can give you the link, and we can about where I actually proved that art is the only antidote to war that known, unless you have another one. But the antidote to war is art creation, not art product, art creation, because. Because what is the cause of war? Powerlessness. Powerlessness is when you generalize people. When you look at people as one of one, which art does, not all art looks the same. Every art is unique. When you see art as, then you express yourself, and it's not hatred. People say, oh, it's hatred. No, it's powerlessness. When people are powerless, they start functioning from their fight or flight. And when you take the cutest little doggy and put him in a corner and push him in the corner, he's going to bite you. Mm-hmm. Because the doggy didn't think about it or anything. His DNA, that's being a part of the animal. The DNA takes over and makes you need to survive, because the DNA is like God protecting us, or nature protecting us, that we survive. So when you collectively put people, because money equals survival today, not the representation of what you contribute to humanity. So when that happens, everybody goes into fight flight, and that's very easy to manipulate. When you have fight flight, then you grab anything. I mean, when you wanna save a person that is drowning, he pulls you in because he wants to just survive, and that's the DNA.
Yeah.
It's the DNA. It's not his consciousness. You know, we always saying, no, he's a bad person. He killed this. No. It's the when we do that. So art creation needs to revive, and we need to study the art creation. And my podcast is 30 seconds and has a question with every second, with every quote. And so once every Saturday, one quote, let it percolate, and it's for everyone because our superpower, the first superpower, is creation. Second is what we're doing. We live what the second superpower in podcasting, and the third is adaptation. Because if you and I don't adapt, we can't talk.
Yeah. Before we start wrapping up, how can people reach out, find you?
MichaellM.com. Michaell with 2 L's, M.com. And there's all my social, there's my music, my art, my books, my podcasts, my interviews, everything is on there.
Yeah. I saw some of your pieces, actually all the pieces that are on the website. Impressive. Yeah. I like them. Yeah. Really cool work. Really cool work.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's just me. I just tootle around, you know?
Yeah. And they're simple too. It's simple. They're simple pieces, and it depends on the space too. Depending on the space that you have it, it's like, whoa, it just changes the space. So
like you say, everything is interconnected. You can't just one of my books is about how to hang art, because I was an arts commissioner, and so I saw, the people don't care about how they place it. They said, oh, we got this art, but we have to place it. Oh, we have a little spot left, and just bump it there. No, no light, no nothing, no shadow, no going with the sun or anything.
I doubt the people that I grew up with or went to college with listen to this show, but if they do, they'll probably recognize this. I used to work in an art gallery when I was in college, hanging art pieces, going to people's places and other art galleries and hanging. And some of these pieces are bigger than a bus. These are huge pieces, and I'm trying to hang them. It's like, whoa. So, but it's.
You mean they were all like Guernica? They were all like Guernica?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before we go, what would you have as a takeaway for our audience today?
You're one of one. There's nobody like you. So anytime you feel you're not good enough, you're not right enough, it's a system relevant observation of you. So be 100%. So because you're 101, the best is to be 100% you. So being a janitor, for example, you're the best janitor that you can be, not the best janitor in the world. Mm-hmm. Because when you're the best janitor that you can be, you will resonate in a place. You will not be stressed or anything. You will resonate in a way that somebody else synergistically can fit with you. And so the one of one is, and then also look, and I think I'm going to send you the link you can add about system relevance and human centricity.
Yeah.
Because once I got that with 52, literally with 52 or 3, I got that by writing the Smart of Art.
Yeah.
I got that. And my life is 50% better. I have no goals. I have no success things, nothing. I just be in the moment, dance with the people, and be with as many people as I can. Because that trumps anything you read. Any knowledge is outdating anyway. And it's all generalized. All humans need to do this. No. That's the big shift I want to start, that we look systemically at humans as so human. It's not, I know it's not a woman. Yeah, it's a woman secondary.
Mm.
And, and she has this and she wants that. First, you are human. And this is the interaction between humans, which we just proved, we don't know each other. We just click, talk, our 6 senses. It wasn't our knowledge. Our knowledge, if we couldn't read, there wouldn't be enough to read that you and I linearly can talk to each other. Yeah. We have to dance with our 6 senses.
Yeah, that's incredible. Incredible. Yeah. And it's a very interesting way of looking at it. It's a different view of looking at it. And that's what it's about. That's what the seance is about. That's what this podcast is for, is to give people another approach, another way to look at things, to view and observe reality, their life,
Yeah.
anything and everything.
Not copying,
Yep.
another thing where you fit. So if I listen to your podcast and you show me something new, and I said, oh my God, yeah, it doesn't mean I'm copying you. I'm just getting a part of it. And I think that's we are so powerful, and we're not seeing ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing ourselves saying, oh, I need to be perfect. I need to be this and whatever. No, you're perfect as you are from the kid on till you die. You're perfect. You're always that. And you can't repeat a moment. That's another thing. Because if we would try to repeat this, we could do another podcast. But if we want to, this episode, we could never do. Try it. Try to have a business meeting and try to copy the business meeting, even a business meeting. Copy the business meeting. It's a complete different meeting, and listen to both.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah. Completely different. Everything is unique. Very.
Yeah.
Very much so.
And if you embrace that, then life is all of a sudden you become the observer, and then life is so interesting.
Yeah. I observe a lot.
Yeah.
I just keep my mouth shut and just observe, see what happens.
That's your job. You're a reverend.
Yeah.
So that is, you observe, you need to, in order to keep all plates spinning, and I'd say, oh, I only like the red plates. I don't like the green plates. You have to observe. If you're a leader, you have to observe.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot put yourself above or below. You have to keep all those. Your teamwork, your part in the team is keep all plates spinning.
Yeah.
Not prefer. Not I don't like whatever. No. Your responsibility is the one responsibility to keep all the plates spinning. And that's why you have to be the most self-aware. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, Mike, namaste, my friend. Blessings. And that concludes our show. And definitely welcome back on anytime. Just, give us a holler. And, if you got something new out, got something that you want to tell, share the world.
Always. Paul, I repeat always, because I always have new discoveries. I've always new discovery all the time. I write all the time. I get up at 4:00 and just stuff that comes in.
There you go. And the best stuff happens before the sun comes up.
Yeah. At 3 to 5 is the thing. All that stuff. So we, if anything, and if people have questions, let them bombard you, because we have answers. There's no answer I can get. I can answer everything. I know that I can, with you, answer everything, except if it gets out of. So if I'm talking about, in the universe of spirituality, no, I'm here. I'm physical. In a physical, I can tell you, but the physical, no, I'm not going there. I'm not, and I cannot tell you what an animal thinks. I can just tell you what a human thinks, and I can't. Systems are so complicated. If you say, tell me about computers, I don't know anything about computers. But in humans, I can tell you, and I know that 80% of human problems are system created because we generalize, and that's why we need to get away from the generalization in the 101 and dance the life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, moving on.
Yeah.
Cool. Michael, blessings again, my friend. I appreciate it. Thank you for your time. And thank you, everybody, for your time, and for all their audience out there watching. Definitely keep us posted. If you have any questions, answers, if you have any questions that you want answered, let us know. Go check out Mike at Michaell with 2 L's, m.com. And thank you for watching the seance, and we will